Okay. Oh, what did I do with that? Good deal. Hello, hello. My name is Jamie, and this is another crochet and chat. I am working on the baby water dragon pattern by colonial _ creations on YouTube. I am currently doing just a smidge of surgery because I messed up and I tied everything off, and yeah, messed it up pretty bad. Well, not pretty bad. I just made a mistake. Didn't do it quite right, but that's okay. It's a nice day today outside. I went for a walk. I live in southeastern Wyoming. The wind is bad enough that I didn't want to be outside doing this because no one would be able to hear me or anything else over the wind, which we almost always have wind here in Wyoming. That's just kind of how it goes. It is 43 degrees outside, so it is a pretty nice day outside if it wasn't so windy. So, like I said, I'm try this again. I'll show you what what it's going to look like. Well, what it should look like. This is the baby water dragon. I'm not following her colors. I'm doing my own. However, I have liked the pattern so far. And I'll show you. I got the head and the body and the tail already done. So now what I'm working on is the left ear. I've already made the right ear, so I need to make the left ear. What I may need to do is sew on the right ear so that it's actually, in the correct position before I finish the left, because they're kind of like mirror images of each other. And I might just, forget which one goes where. And like, most people that work with this type of yarn, you know that you're going to have bits of fluff coming at you. And so I just want to make sure that I get this ear on this dragon correct before I make the left one, because I don't want to get confused, because they're very, very similar. And that would be confusing for me. Maybe not for other people, but I know for me that can be confusing. So hello and welcome. My name is Jamie, and this is my space on the internet where I talk about crochet and knitting and all of my different makes. I'm really excited for this one. This is a free pattern off of Instagram, and it is a fairly long pattern. compared to what you normally find on the Instagram free patterns, but it does seem to be um, a very good pattern so far. Just gonna hide this tail real quickly. There we go. It's been kind of a long week. On Monday, Mom thought it was Tuesday, and on Wednesday, I thought it was Thursday. We were a bit confused about, what day was what. I guess that kind of happens when you don't leave the house very often. I've already made the horns that'll go on top of the dragon's head. Oh, where am I going? Going to the left ear. So yeah. This is exciting for me because I do actually like the dragon aesthetic, and I'm looking to have more pieces that are a little bit larger, but maybe don't take quite as long to make, but still turn out looking really good. Okay, Jimmy. I'm just trying to hide my ends in as I go, so I don't have as much to sew in, because we all know Jimmy hates sewing in ends. Okay, don't go away. My phone keeps wanting to go to sleep. I do have it hooked onto the power, but it's just, I guess, awful sleepy today. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Okay. So, yeah, I'm excited to get this done. Dun, dun, dun. Ah, it looks like my Aunt Susie subscribed. Hi, Aunt Susie. I'm working through all of my old yarns. This is just Bernat blanket that we've had for quite a while. I've got down to about a fifth of what we had. And I am still just trying to work through it. Mom's trying to help work through stuff too, because we have quite a bit that we still have to work through. A lot of it though is like 3 and 4 weight yarns, which I'm not too sure. I'd like to get into them, but I typically make blankets out of them or clothes. So I'm not too sure what else I would make out of that stuff. But I am looking and thinking and trying to figure out what I can do with that stuff. Okie dokie. So I've got the left ear made, and I'm just going to slide this thing on real quick and sew it on because, I don't like sewing. And so if I don't do it, pretty quickly after I've done something, I'm not going to do it. I'll wait until there's like a ton of it and then do it, but that's not always the best way to do it either. That's just me being lazy because I really hate sewing in my ends. And I'm trying to be better about sewing in my ends because, that's all part of it. I don't know. It is what it is. And, I'm getting better at sewing on parts to my creations. I think the biggest issue for me is that I just am not someone who likes to sew. And I'm a product person rather than a process person. And so sometimes it's just kind of difficult for me to do the sewing in the ends, even though I know, that it's part of the process and, that the project isn't actually finished until the ends are weaved in. But I don't always count that. I sometimes count it finished before weaving in my ends. Okie dokies. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to move you guys for just a minute. There it is. And let me bring y'all back. So, I got his ears on. Now what I need to do is sew on his horns. And the nice thing is that his horns go right next to his ears. So that makes it easier to sew it on because you have kind of like a land reference. Oh, come on, Jimmy. There we go. Okay. So I don't know how your guys' week went. I hope that you guys had a good week and that you've had some time to knit, crochet, weave, cross stitch, write comedy jokes, whatever makes you joyful and happy. I've been doing some crochet. I do have another blanket that I'm almost finished with. Hi, Aunt Susie. But let me think. I don't know if I'll work on it while we're on live or not. I want to finish the baby water dragon, if at all possible. And I have to make wings and flippers, which that threw me for a minute, flippers for a dragon, but it is a water dragon. And so that makes sense. I have not finished my octopuses yet. I need to sew one together and then I need to finish the other one. That's really what it is. And we all know I don't like sewing. And so I've been procrastinating and just kind of not getting it done like I should have. Mom's still out with the ladies. She always tries to not be here so much when I'm doing my live because she doesn't want to bother my live. And I keep telling her she's not going to bother the live. It's her house. There's no reason why she can't be here, but she says she wants to be respectful, and that is very, very kind. My mom's one of those people that just she's always thinking of others instead of thinking of herself. And on one hand, that's really nice, but on the other hand, it also means that she doesn't do things for herself. So I'm trying to figure out. The other day, she told me the name of a violet because I'd like to get that violet for her because she wouldn't get it for herself. because it's a want, not a need. And it's like, you know, I kind of understand that, but she does so much for everybody else. Well, maybe not everybody else, but for a lot of people, and she doesn't do for herself. So I thought maybe I could find out what the name of that particular flower was, because it's a particular type of like miniaturized. Exactly. It's a different type of miniaturized flower, and well, African violet, and it's named after the gentleman that I guess did a lot of the first scientific research on it, on, you know, making them small. And so I'm going to have to move you guys again. I'm sorry. I keep dropping stuff. My hands have the drops today. So I'd like to get that flower name so I can get that for Mom. Little wonky on the horns, but starting to look a little bit like a dragon. So let's go see what the next part of the pattern says. Make fins. Okie dokie. I'm going to give you guys a quick look again at well, that's not it. There it is. I'm going to give you a quick look at what this is kind of going to look like, just different colors. So this is the baby water dragon pattern on Instagram, and it's free. It's been really easy to follow as long as I pay attention. And when I don't pay attention, I have to rip something out. But that goes for all patterns. Okay. So now fins. It says I need to make 4 of them. Hopefully the dogs will be fairly quiet. I left the door open for them for quite a while this morning so they could go in and out and bark and do whatever they wanted to do. And now they're resting in their beds, which is a good thing. They may bark when Mom comes home, but who knows? Most of the time when she comes home now, they're not barking at her, which is a good thing. Okay, back to comments. Okay, so I think that it looks like these fins are just regular, kind of, you make them in the round and then you fold them in half. So that sounds pretty easy. Let's see if my body can make it. Were you thinking dark purple or light purple? Or did you want dark purple and light purple both? Okay. Yeah, I can do that. I'll have to go and make sure that I have the dark purple. I know I have the light purple, but I gotta go make sure I have the dark purple. And then I will call you a little later on, because I can send you pictures of the colors. And for those of you that don't know, if you're interested in purchasing a plushie from me, um, you're more than welcome to send me a DM on YouTube or on Instagram, and we can work out colors and price. I got to be quiet for a second because I got to count. Okie dokies. There it is. My stitch marker didn't want to come undone. Oh, I didn't show you. So I have these paw print stitch markers, and I bought them off of Amazon, and they are just, they're awesome to use for me because they clip on and unclip, and it's a little bit easier sometimes than using the light bulb stitch markers. They look like this. I have a ton of those too, and I do use them. It just kind of depends on the project and on the yarn. Some of the Bernat is a little bit thicker and some of it's a little bit thinner. My phone keeps going off because of Discord. I follow Crochet Vision on YouTube, and I'm in her Discord, and there are those lovely ladies in there are always talking a lot. Now I don't talk a whole lot, but I do hover around and read what they say, um, mainly because I don't always know what to say to them. Um, but when I think of something, I participate. So she's been kind of going through a rough time. I think a lot of people are, realistically. Um, but I sure hope it gets better for people. I'm very lucky to live where I am and have the family support that I have. Not everybody has the same type of support, but we do what we can with what we got, right? So my dog Humphreys, oh, he's a silly little boy. He likes to curl up in his blanket and basically burrito himself. But then when he goes to get out of the blanket, well, he can't walk because he's burritoed himself. Exactly. Yippee skippy. Um, and he's so funny because he tries to get out, but he doesn't unburrito himself first. And so then he'll fall on his face. And, the first time he did it, I thought, maybe he'd gotten hurt. Nope. He just forgets to get himself unburritoed before he goes sometimes. He's our little reactive dog that barks at a lot of stuff and is very worried about what is going on around us. We've been going on walks, not very long walks, just, a little bit most days. I'm not going to say every day because we had 2 days of pretty cold weather here. and I just couldn't get out in it. It was just too much for me. Um, However, I've already had a walk today, and I plan on doing another one this afternoon. And I'm going to take him with me this afternoon, and we're just going to do a little short walk and, work on just, doing the whole walking on the leash thing together. He does pretty good. He doesn't normally pull, and he usually stays fairly close to me. He does get anxious and nervous when dogs are barking at him or there's a lot of traffic on the street. Loud noises really scare him. And when we're out on the leash, he's funny because he doesn't bark and, doesn't carry on like he does when he doesn't have the leash on. So this summer, I plan on having him out in the front with me when I'm selling at my table. If you don't know, where we live is on one of the busy streets in town. And it's something that it's not the only street to get to certain areas, but it's a very well-traveled street. So it's the street I grew up on this in this neighborhood, but this street was always the busy street. And I'm going to sell outside, so I'm going to have him with me just so that he's not barking his head off, because that's something that he does often do. Let me see here. And I was really hoping that my aunt from Mississippi was going to be able to come to visit us this summer. However, she and her daughter get to go to, I think it's France, but don't quote me on that. They're going on a European trip, and I think that's awesome for the two of them. I think it's been a while since they've been able to, spend a lot of quality time together, just, because of life and what's been going on. And, like I said, we all just do the best we can with what we got. But one of her granddaughters is in a statistics class, but she's also very interested, I believe, in music, because I believe this is the harp player. And she put out kind of like a poll to have us fill in like how many hours a week we listen to music. Yes, there are patterns for Lilo and Stitch. However, they tend to be pretty expensive because those are licensed characters. Anyway, so I filled out this survey for her, and I hope that it's helpful for her. And I hope that, the statistics class goes really well for her. I just kind of wish the best for everyone. Even, the people that are struggling and maybe not making the best decisions. I want the best for them and for the entire family, because not just my family, but kind of the entire community in our world. I mean, it's hard enough out there, without having other negativity going on. However, you can't make somebody else's decisions for them. And all you can do is love them and do your best for the family that will accept the help, or the neighbors, you know, or the community or whomever. 2, 3, 4, 5. I just really wish that, you know, I had a magic wand and I could fix things for people. But I know that that does not exist. Um, Although I really, really wish it did. Or a genie. Could you imagine meeting a genie and getting 3 wishes? And you could end, you know, things like world hunger and, you know, AIDS and cancer or something. Like you that kind of power might go to your head, but on the other hand, you could do so much good for so many people. And I guess I'd probably waste a wish on my mom. Well, not really waste, but to get her all the flowers that she wants and the garden she wants and the house she wants and, you know, all that kind of good stuff. My mom is like my best friend, and we're really close, if you can't tell. So, she and I live together, and we both crochet and I knit. She is um she's just an awesome person. Okay, I'll have to talk to you about that one after well, later on. Um because I'd have to see what patterns are out there and how to make it work. Yes, she's an awesome person. Okay. Oh, there goes an ambulance. Like I said, we live on a very busy street, so um, we hear a lot of the first responder stuff going on. You don't need to be quiet. You're not doing anything wrong. So my dogs are being so good right now. They're just napping away. I have that over here. Nope, I already put it away in the box. I was going to show you guys that I made another I did another of the big booty bob, and it turned out so much better. And I put eyes with eyelashes on it because I used that really bright, well, the Bernat Brights multi color yarn. It's this colorway, and I was able to do a big booty bob. I was also able to do most of my octopus. This is the head of the octopus. I was able to do most of the octopus out of the same color. And then I have the blue-green one that I have not done the eyes or the head on yet. That part doesn't actually take that long. It's longer doing all of the little tentacles. And hopefully by next week, I'll get my rear end in gear and I'll have both of them to show you. But, you know, we all know how I am. I don't like sewing. I'm really kind of excited because I'm making another blanket out of this yarn. It's not going to be as warm as this one because instead of using 2 strands, I'm only using 1. Yes, it does look like a hot air balloon. I did notice that. But it's the stuff that sticks out on the back of the head. The pattern is the anchor pattern. Let me see if I can get back to that one. It's not here. Where is it at? It's over here. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Humble Child Co. is the one that wrote the anchor, the octopus pattern, plus the mini anchor pattern. So when I bought it, I bought the bundle where you get both, because I wasn't too sure how big the original anchor would turn out. And since I'm working through yarns that we've had for a while, I don't always have the best. I may only have like one skein of a colorway, and so I wasn't sure that would work. The big one would work well for me, but it actually has. And I am very excited. Well, maybe not very excited because I have to sew, but I am excited to get it done. And then I will have them both up so you can see. Yes, that's actually what this is. This is an Easter egg. However, the pattern, the Easter eggs were like that big. And so I followed the pattern to a T, but she used, I think, 3-weight yarn or 4-weight yarn, and it turned out much, much smaller. And this is kind of big. Like, I know it's kind of hard to tell, but it's pretty big. And a lot of the patterns that I'm doing right now are, I do have a few patterns that I've paid for, but most of the patterns that I'm doing right now are free, that you can get off of Instagram. Or off of blogs, because I've got a couple off of blogs. One in particular that I may try next week is a horse that's not supposed to turn out as large as my last horse. And there's nothing wrong with the last horse now that I've figured out how to do the hair. But I'm not sure that that's quite the size I want because it's really big. And I think that if I had smaller horses, they might sell better, especially in the community where I live. We are, even though I guess they would probably consider us a metro area for our state, we are still pretty rural. I mean, 15 minutes and you're outside of town, any which direction you want to drive. So it's not super populated, but our whole state is like that. We are definitely one big little town in our state because it's like 6 degrees of separation. And you meet someone that's from another part of the state and you get to talking, and next thing you know, you know someone that they're related to, or they know someone you're related to, and it's fun, but it can also be a little daunting, I think, sometimes. At least where we live, we have the Air Force Base. So we do have people moving in and moving out fairly frequently in our community, which I think makes our community maybe a little bit more um, diverse than some of the other communities. But I still think business wise, our whole state really needs to work on diversification and, if at all possible, being independent from outside um, price. How do I say that? Uh, Wyoming has never been able to, or has never really set the price of, our beef, or set the price of our oil or coal. It's always somebody outside of our state that sets those prices. And I think that as a state, we really need to look at um, having different businesses and being able to set our own prices rather than having, you know, people in other countries or other states deciding how much something costs from our state. Um, but I think probably all the states need to do that. Well, maybe not all, but probably most of the states will have to look at doing that um, going forward. Mainly because we need to be able to take care of our own. And that's going to be, I think, kind of difficult, but you never know. It might turn out to be really easy here very soon. Um, I don't know, but I suspect that it's going to be pretty difficult for a while, which kind of makes me sad because we all are doing the best that we can, but our best isn't always gonna work. And I think that, our economy, like each state's economy, needs to be able to stand on its own and, be able to weather storms when, maybe the coal and oil industry like completely bottom out, or the meat and dairy completely bottom out, or something like that. We need to be able to survive those. I sure hope so. Have to laugh, my phone is still going off. I got to do around. Um, my mother has come home, and you can't tell because the dogs were so quiet. They love hanging out with my mom, and so do I. To be honest, so I have two of the water dragon um, flippers done, and I'm working on the third one. I got an order of pickles last night. And I know that that sounds weird, but I eat a lot of pickles. And so I ordered hopefully enough pickles to get me through the month. Um, with my ostomy, I lose a lot of sodium and potassium, and so nah, you don't drive me crazy. Um, so I just love pickles, and they taste really, really good a lot of times. I'm also a big strawberry addict. Um, with my ostomy and stuff, I have to be careful with what I eat and when I eat it and how I eat it, because my body doesn't like certain things. So I started this program, Verta, and I don't know if it'll work or not for me, just because of all of my health complications and all my medicines, and it's a full-time job just being me. And it's been that way for quite a while. And I don't know that this particular program will work well for me, but I don't know that it won't. And I am very, um, I guess, hesitant on some of it, but some of it has actually been really good. Um, because I haven't had a way really to log my daily blood sugars and have them go straight to my endocrinologist. But I think I have it set up that that my endocrinologist will be able to see my morning and afternoon and whatnot blood sugars and see that they're really not high. Um, and they'll be able to see my blood pressure and my weigh-ins and that, and then also like how I'm feeling, because they have kind of a generic "how are you feeling" type what's it called, um, like questionnaire that you can fill out. So I'm hopeful, but I also know that I have a lot of other stuff going on. So it may or may not work well for me, and that's okay. Like, I'm not going to be upset if it does not work well for me. If it does, that's awesome. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. Um, I've been having weird sleeping schedules, but I'm hoping that maybe we kind of got it figured out now. But we'll see. My body likes to do weird stuff. And you never know when my body is going to say, "Here, hold my beer and watch this." I want to thank you all for coming to my live, and for the comments. Um, if you don't mind, hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I am on my way to 40 subscribers, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but for me, that's a lot. Um, I have been doing YouTube videos for um, way over a year, actually. However, um, it's only been in the last several months that I've really gotten more consistent with it, because I would post a video every now and then, but I was not being consistent. Now I'm being consistent, and that is one of my goals, is to stay consistent, doing my lives on Wednesday, or my lives on Saturdays, and then putting out a short video on Wednesdays. Both go live at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Um, what else? I have an Instagram under the same name, and I also what else do I have? YouTube. Oh, I have a Twitch with the same name. And if you're on Twitch, I have a YouTube with the same name. And just for your information, my my business name will be changing. I've been using Knit Until I Die for quite a while, and there's reasons for that. But I will be changing to my new business name, which is Hot Dog Crochet. And I'm not going to do that this week, but I do believe I will do that next week. And I'm changing over all of my socials to Hot Dog Crochet. And I'm working on my logo right now. I am trying to figure out how to use a picture of my dog because I have a hot dog. And once I kind of get that figured out, then I'm going to get that logo up and get everything going. Welcome and howdy to the new folks. Like and subscribe. So I am working on the baby water dragon, and let me show you what what it kind of looks like. So this is the baby water dragon by Colonial Creations on Instagram. It's a free pattern on Instagram, and it's been a fairly easy Instagram pattern. Some of them are really easy, and then some of them are a little hard to follow. There's my stitch marker. And I'm really liking this one. It is fairly easy to work up. I'm doing it in red and white. The original was, whoops, sorry guys. There we go. The original was blue and white. But I'm doing mine in red and white just because those were two colors that I had enough of this particular, that I had enough for this particular pattern. Ah, there we go. Sorry, I lost you guys for a minute. Hi, Deb. My name is Jamie. Nice to meet you. There we go. Welcome to my little corner of the world. I knit and crochet. So, like I said, I'm working on the baby water dragon pattern. I'd show you guys some of my other finished stuff, but they're already in the finished box. Actually put eyes on them. Can you just, oh my goodness, believe I actually sewed in the ends and put the eyes on. It's nice to meet you too, Deb. So this is the fourth fin that I need to make. I got my delivery of strawberries this morning, and crazy me, I thought they'd be in sacks. They came in boxes, and they were a bit heavy to carry, but I got them in, got them put away in the freezer because they're frozen strawberries, And I learned my lesson because they literally brought me a box of strawberries, like the container that they come in. Thank you. I'm getting better at learning how to follow patterns instead of just making stuff up on my own. Oh, okay. Awesome. What pattern, or are you using a pattern for your prayer shawl? I've really been enjoying crocheting the plushies. I wasn't sure that I would like it, and um, many years ago, ah, yeah, I make my own designs when I'm doing my clothes. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, um, my very, very beautiful and smart aunt told me a long time ago I should start a crochet business, but I was too scared to. But I'm not scared anymore. I'm actually pretty doggone excited. So I am taking your advice a bit belatedly, but I am taking it. So this is the final pin that I got to do. There we go. I don't know if you guys watch Passionate Kelsey, but I seem to always kind of bump into her lives. So when I'm done doing what I'm doing, later on I go back and I watch her lives. Oh, my dragon is doing pretty doggone well. I have the head and the body created already. Horns and ears are sewn on. I'm making the flippers. This is the fourth one that I need to make. And then I will go on to the wings. And then after the wings, I need to sew it all on. And then I'll need to embroider the eyes and I guess you'd call them claws or toenails. Oh, that's right. I have to make feet. After wings, there's feet. But it really is fairly quick to work up because I did the body in just a couple hours the other night. And probably if I'd sat here the whole time and just worked on it, it wouldn't have taken me that long. Sometimes I get distracted. I try really hard not to doom scroll on my phone. Um, and, sometimes I do it, but I try really hard not to because there's so much more that I want to do. And just sitting on my phone scrolling does not help. Although I have figured out that I can play the game that I like to play, which is one of those ones where you're matching numbers. You're trying to either make 10 or match duplicates like sixes. So I've been I can play that and crochet at the same time. So I've been doing that sometimes at nighttime. Hmm. These don't look. Oh, that's an ear. I've already done the ears. Fins. Okay, wings. I need to make 2 wings. Oh, we're doing chain. Okay. Oh, cool. I like dragons too. I like the aesthetic that that they have. Um, I also play Dungeons and Dragons when I can. Um, and I like being a dragonborn, which I know is not really a dragon, but they're about as close as I'm ever going to get to be. Okay, I will talk to you later. So I like dragons too, like fairies and all that stuff. Let's see here. Oh, 5 single crochets. Okay, I can do that. Wasn't reading the pattern right. Now the dog wants to play. That's okay. Mom's home. He'll talk to mom. She's working on replanting some of her violets. As they grow, they need new pots, and so that's what she's working on. Okay. Hi, Belly Bell. How are you doing? My mom, well, our Chewini came out to check on me. I have been crocheting since I was about 5 years old. My great grandmother taught me. The lady liked to pinch you with her nails, but she did do me a solid and taught me how to crochet. I taught myself how to knit a couple of years ago from YouTube. I wanted to knit socks because crochet socks just don't hold up quite like knit socks do. And so I learned how to knit, made myself some shirts and sweaters, made my mom one sweater. I've got another one that's still on the needles. I right now I'm really enjoying crochet. Um, 3. Okay. Mom knows how to crochet, and we often crochet together, especially during the winter time. She just finished a granny stitch cardigan, and she used a small hook and small yarn, and it just came out looking so good. This is my granny square cardigan right here. Not granny square, granny stitch cardigan. I used the 3 clusters, and then I did some single crochets and then half double and double. And so I made myself a nice cardigan to stay warm. And I do often at nighttime throw that on because it just gets cool in here. A lot cooler than it used to, or at least I thought it used to. But I'm getting kind of old too, so. The other thing that I've been working on the last couple of nights is another blanket. So this one is a corner to corner. And then what I'm doing right now is I'm actually putting on a kind of like a frilly border, mainly because that's what I wanted. I love to do the corner to corners. They work up so fast, and you don't have to watch what you're doing. You can just go along um, with doing it. You can do it by feel. Not all crochet can I do by feel yet, but maybe someday. We'll see. I don't know if I've said, but we have a Dachshund and then a Dachshund Chihuahua cross. Um, and the Dachshund is male, and then the um, Dachshund Chihuahua cross is female. Okay. So here's one wing. My mom is definitely more mobile than I am, and so the dogs love to follow her around. Whatever room she goes into, they go into. Humphreys will even guard the bathroom when mom goes into the bathroom. Not really. He just lays there and waits on her. I forgot this is not that. This is a chain. I don't know what kind of music you guys like to listen to, but I listen to all sorts of music. One of the big things that I've been listening to lately is like Big Bad Jim, or no, Don't Mess Around with Jim. It's a Jim Croce song. Meanest man in the whole damn town. Anyways, and I've been listening to some of the newer renditions of those songs as well as the old ones. And I really like the a cappella ones. I think those are probably some of the better ones. And of course, listening to Brandy, I love that song. And then I listen to like some modern country and pop and just kind of all over the place. I'm not really into classical so much. There we go. However, I know that a lot of people are. I do like Mannheim Steamroller, and we have their Christmas stuff, but we also have some of their other stuff like animals, like the whales. Um, But I like stuff that, you know, I can tap my toe along to. Oops. I'm being kind of lazy. I haven't sewn anything on yet. New that I've made this afternoon. I did sew the ears and horns on my dragon, but I haven't sewn any of the stuff that, you know, like the flappers yet. Oh, I understood what you had said. I do kind of my own patterns when I'm making my clothing for myself because it has to fit a certain way. Because I have some stuff that sticks out on my stomach. I have an ostomy, and um, that's not the first thing that I want ever anybody's face when they come to meet me. So making clothes means that I can make stuff so that you can't see it through my clothes, which I really like. And I make stuff long enough that you can't see the bag and, you know, all that kind of good stuff. Because most clothes, like if I get it out of the women's section, it's just not long enough and it's too thin. If I get it out of the men's section, like my Carhartts, they fit just fine and they actually are long enough. But I don't wear Carhartt sweatshirts all the time. I used to when I was younger. I'd wear my sweatshirts all the time, and now I wear them when I'm cold or when it's cool or you know the snow is blowing or something. Okie dokies. So I've got my second wing. Okay. Huh. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it doesn't have legs. Let me go back and look at the photo. Oh, doesn't have legs because it has flippers. Yes. Okay. So I'm at the point where I actually do have to start sewing stuff on. What did I do with that? Oh, there it is. Sorry, I got to move you guys. Okie dokies. Gotta hide my tail. There we go. And another one. Gotta hide the tail. Let's see here. I kept losing all of my really good scissors. So I got myself a pair of kid scissors, and they work awesome, and they're a lot harder to lose. Which works out really well for me because I forget where I put stuff sometimes. Although, since I've been working in this area, I've been able to keep everything pretty well together instead of some stuff here, some stuff there. I pretty much kind of always, well, not always, but most of the time I'm working here, which means that the mess is contained and my yarn is contained. Although I have a box down here that I need to go through and figure out what I'm going to do with the stuff that's in it. Because not all of it needs to be here anymore. Ooh. I ordered stuffing from Walmart and that came in. It was the best price that I could find. Because with what I think of as a major retailer going out of business, there really wasn't anybody in town per se that had what I was looking for at a good price, because I got it for, I think, like $70. No, it was less than that. I think it was $65. And over at Michael's, it was way more than that. Okay. Thank you all for coming. I was going to try and finish this dragon on live, but I need to go do some other things. So I will see you on Wednesday. Please like and subscribe. I close out my videos almost always with reminding you that you are wanted, you are needed, and you are loved. You are somebody important in this world that the world needs. Be kind to everyone in your world, including yourself. I'll see you on Wednesday with my next video. Bye.